Hey, this is Jersey. You're listening to the Garden State.
You're listening to The Garden State, the only New Jersey podcast that gives you all the news you need to hear this week. My name is Josh Sobo.
My name is Josh Chomik.
And I'm Jimmy Parks.
I like that. That felt so much healthier.
Up. Whoa.
Wow. Has that ever happened before? I don't think so.
I think you should intro yourself from now on.
Okay.
It sounds a lot less like planned out.
I'm Jimmy Parks.
Hi, Jimmy.
Hey,
You showed up.
I showed up. I didn't think I was going to make it today, boys.
Yeah.
Jimmy, what you sent us a text right before coming over to the podcast that said you had a medical emergency.
No, I didn't. I said I'm injured.
Jimmy sent the worst text message possible. He was running a little late, and he's like, I'm dealing with an injury. I'll be there soon. And I'm like, oh, dude, are you okay? You want to text us maybe what happened? Like,
It was too
He
complicated.
sent a picture of his foot. It was bleeding.
Yeah.
what did you do?
Long story short, I had to get changed today in the back of my work truck. And I was changing my pants, and I pretty much, my foot went flying underneath the seat in front of me, and it got cut on some metal underneath.
Your foot slipped?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to tell us that you burned your foot on a George Foreman grill.
No.
Sue me.
Unless he did, and he's just trying to like cover it up with like a cool story.
But I can't get over
Is
it.
that a cool story?
I called my friend Sam, and I was like, Sam, you have to come down to the parking garage. I need your first aid kit. So she came and gave it to me, and like I wrapped it up with gauze and everything, super tight. And then I got home like 5 hours later, and I took the gauze off, was going to wash it out better, and it's still bleeding.
Ooh.
Do you think you need stitches?
I mean, it's more wide than deep, but it's deep, but I don't think it's stitches deep.
Got it. The photo looked like just like a layer of skin was removed.
Yeah, it didn't look bad at all.
Let's give graphic details to everybody listening at home. So basically, here's what you're gonna imagine: his pinky toe. No I'm kidding. I could lay
It's
it
pretty
all
much hanging by a thread.
Yeah, it's...
As somebody that's lost a portion of my toe when I was 4 years old.
Wait, what?
I'm gonna stand.
Yeah, you
I'm
ever
gonna
see his toe? You don't want to see his toe.
Wait, which toe? What happened,
my
Josh?
middle toe. Listen. I'm gonna stand. What's it called when you're? I'm an ally for you. I'm an ally for your foot injury. My foot. I never told you what happened to my foot.
I think I heard it a long time ago, but I forget.
When I was like 4, I went on a bike ride. Well, I was going out front to get on my bike.
I've heard this story. Yep. Go on.
Should I stop?
No. I want the listeners to
My
hear
mom
it.
told me like 6 times to put my shoes on, but I wasn't going to listen. Just ran out of the house, got my bike.
Yeah.
And bikes have chains.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Chains have a lot of torque on them. You get your toe caught in one of them, and they called me Stumpy for about 2 years of my life, my family. How messed up is that? They literally called me Stumpy. They still laugh about that. They're like, what's up, Stumpy?
I remember I asked your parents about it, and then they both started like laughing and just saying, "Oh, it's little Stumpy."
My mom still laughs when I bring that up. She's like, Stumpy.
That's cute little nickname.
That's why I'm the way I am, man. We had to laugh.
Little Stumpy.
You grew up in a big family. You got to be able to laugh about stuff, or you're just going to get eaten alive.
At least you didn't lose your pinky toe, though. It could have been way worse.
Could have been Jimmy. Could have been Jimmy in the
Could've
back
been
of
me.
a...
I mean, I might lose my whole foot.
You might need to go to like menu merge or something after this.
I know. I can't even like joke about that.
You're gonna
because-
wake up and your sheets are just gonna be like soaked.
Whoa.
Not to get too graphic here, but like, yeah, Jimmy, you better get that checked out.
Yeah,
it
good
also
point.
might be infected. You don't know what's under your seat.
Do you know what your copay is? Like if you're going to go to MediMerge?
Yeah.
Is it pretty good?
They just raised
It's
our
probably like
rate.
$20.
recently. No.
Mine was 20.
Yeah, mine used to be 20, but they just raised it.
Well,
What?
If it's
I think it's
low,
like 35.
Yeah, that's worth it. Make
Yeah,
it
to
stop.
save your toe,
Yeah, I know.
to save yourself
I
from.
know. When I get
bleeding.
home from here, I'll. deal with it.
I'm just messing. I don't think you need. I think it's gonna be fine.
You
just
might
gotta-
actually might be really
What
injured.
you should get. No, what you should get. I'm being
Everyone
serious.
I'm talking to is like, oh, the butterfly stitches. Is that what you're
No.
gonna say?
No. Listen, there is something that my dad uses that blows my mind, and I've used it. It's awesome.
Super glue.
No, it's called liquid Band-Aid. You ever have
I've
it?
heard of this.
It's basically they sell it like a Neosporin or Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Sells it, and it's pretty much clear nail polish with like stuff in it to heal your thing, but it just creates a hard layer of basically skin when it dries, and it's awesome. It's really, really good. You cut your finger really bad, I put some of that on, and
My dad used to give me this one thing whenever I used to cut myself. What was it called? It was called "Stop Being Such a Little Baby."
Oh,
Maybe
man.
suck it up, dude. I don't know. It just might heal by itself because
My
the
dad
human
gave me
body
that a few
heals. But so I don't know. I don't know, Jimmy. I just hope you're good. Go to the doctors if you need.
I'm not too worried about it. The only thing that kind of freaked me out, and I wrapped it in gauze, so I think that's kind of why. But I haven't worn these shoes in like 10 years.
Can I just say,
but they're the only shoes that would fit on my foot right now.
What's the idea of behind gauze? I just feel like it's such an archaic. It's like what they use on mummies. Like you cut yourself and you wrap it with like this thick.
Isn't that the same thing as like liquid Band-Aid though? Gauze?
No, liquid Band-Aid. You paint it on and then it hardens and it literally clogs your skin.
I actually used that. You gave me that once.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
like it's like
awesome.
in 3 minutes you stop bleeding.
Do you
and
have it when I drop you off later?
No, I don't. But you can get it at like Walgreens, CVS for like $4.
Yeah, go buy it for like $20.
Try it. It's gonna sting because there's definitely some alcohol and stuff in it, but. Yeah.
Well, awesome. I was shocked when I was like cleaning it out with like an alcohol swab at my truck earlier. Like I thought it was gonna be stinging like crazy. It didn't hurt.
That's good.
So
you're just real tough.
Yeah. Well, you know,
he's all grown up.
Guys, welcome back to the Garden State Podcast.
Oh yeah, I forgot we were on a podcast.
That's a good thing when you just get so used to the environment. This is your time to really just reflect. Like let everything out, Jim. The work week is crazy. We're here to talk to you.
It's just us three in this room.
Yeah. You know what I also just realized? Sorry, we'll get into the podcast in a second. That when I said I had to change my pants, it probably sounded like I had another problem earlier in the day.
Were you changing like work clothing?
So I was in the office and then I was going into the field in the afternoon. So I changed out of like my office pants and into like my field pants and boots. I needed to put boots on.
Well, you could have just went to the bathroom. It would have been way easier than
probably. What kind of pants you wear in the office? Like Dockers?
I'm wearing like normal jeans into the office, but does
the office not have a bathroom?
They do, but I don't know. I could have also. It just was easier.
Jimmy likes the mystique. He likes the mystique of leaving in clothing and getting out of the truck in another set.
Someone could have walked in on him, kind of like in the parking lot.
Like a Clark Kent phone booth kind of move.
I asked my mom about liquid Band-Aid. She said, not meant for an open wound. You don't want to get an infection. It will improve each day.
Jimmy already got the facts from his mama. That was quick.
This man literally texted his mom.
I wanted to see if we had liquid Band-Aid.
To find out.
Wow.
I didn't ask her like, should I use it or not?
What a blow, Josh.
I'm going to text my dad. He's going to be like, yeah, stuff works on everything. Oh, man, that's funny. Hey, guys, we usually do a weekend recap here, but before we even get into that, we should do a midweek recap because the three of us hung out the other night.
Whoa, yeah. We had a massive week this week.
Yeah, we went to Top's Diner in East Newark to do a little diner review, and we have been once before, but we had to go back this time to meet up with a new friend. Do you want to tell him who that was, Josh?
The legendary Frank the Tank, a.k.a. Frank Fleming.
New Jersey Transit is the absolute worst!
Yeah, Frank the Tank. If you don't know who Frank the Tank is, go search him up. You've probably seen him screaming on the internet before, but dude's a legend.
Yeah, he went viral many years ago because he flipped out at New Jersey Transit, and who can't relate with that? I think all of us have felt those feelings before. And somehow that led to Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sports hiring him as a sports analyst because he's a huge Mets fan. The freak out video, he was mad because he was trying to get to a Mets game, and New Jersey Transit broke down. We hung out with him. It was really interesting because he told us this whole story of, he went to MSU, Montclair State, in-state, New Jersey school, studied sports broadcasting or broadcast journalism, something related to sports. And somehow, he didn't do that as a career, but his life somehow miraculously ended up there through that viral video where he's working for Barstool Sports. Crazy.
He's living the dream now. He's living his best life.
He's living his best life, and that review will be out soon.
I was a little starstruck, like when we first pulled up. I was like, I can't believe Frank the Tank's in front of me. Like I've watched this guy's videos all the time. But then like one of the first things he said to us was like, you don't realize how often I open up my TikTok to post a rant and it's you guys sharing New Jersey news. And that already made me feel better. I'm like, wow, so this guy he watches our videos a ton. Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a Jersey head. I didn't realize this.
Yeah, he knows a lot about Jersey.
He knows a lot about New Jersey, and he kept me on my toes. There were some things where I was like, whoa, I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's definitely a New Jersey brain.
It was great to collab with another fellow New Jerseyan.
Yes.
Yeah, because we don't do collabs too often. We want to start doing more collabs, but that was really cool for us.
It was very cool. And Top's Diner is a luxury experience, man. That place is...
Bro, they schmoozed us. They brought everything out.
Well, the Garden State doesn't roll up with Frank the Tank and not get the red carpet treatment, man.
We really did get the red carpet treatment.
They were giving us appetizers that aren't even on the menu yet.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about
Tons
that.
of dessert.
A platter of desserts.
Yeah.
Our meals were like triple the size of a normal plate. Literally, I ordered the chicken parm. Guys, I got just one plate of like 3 giant pieces of chicken parm. And on the side, I had a giant plate of pasta. Like, that's easily like 5 meals for me right there in front of me.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It was ridiculous.
It weighed, because you put what you didn't eat in the to-go box, and it weighed like 4 pounds.
I had like 3-4 meals from it.
It was a noticeable amount of weight.
I was like, I appreciate the love, but like, guys, you don't need to throw this much food at me. Like, I can't eat that much. And we all ended up taking leftovers home.
Yeah.
They gave us cake, donuts. Oh my gosh, they went all out.
It was good.
And Tom's is a cool spot. You should definitely go to it. And I'm happy Frank gave the score. Yeah, not us.
We didn't score. Frank scored for us, and he got the meatloaf, it looked good.
He said that's what they're known for, or one of the places they're known for.
He took a bite, and he's like, I heard this is what they're known for. So he was doing research before he even showed up.
He's also a local from the area, so he probably hears about Tops all the time, but I'm shocked he hasn't been there. So I'm happy that it was his first experience with us.
Yeah, and we made a new friend.
Yeah, he's our boy now.
He was giving us hot dog spot recommendations because that's what he does. And the one hot dog spot I really want to hit that I haven't yet is, what is it?
Johnny
Hot Dog Johnny's?
Hot Dog Johnny, yeah.
Is that what it's called on the Delaware?
Yeah. Well,
no, who's the guy on the middle of the river, he was saying?
That's the famous Delaware River hot dog man.
And that guy's still there?
I think the original one died. I'm not sure if anyone took his place.
Do you know the name of the business?
Delaware River Tubing was the original name of the business.
Oh, he's a tubing spot?
So he rented tubes to go tubing down the Delaware.
Yeah.
And he then set up a hot dog stand in the middle of the Delaware River.
So you had to tube or something to get there.
Yeah.
Josh, if you Google that, like, does anything pop up?
Delaware River.
Oh, 100%.
Hot dog guy.
He was given like an award by the New Jersey Travel and Tourism Department.
The famous River hot dog man. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's so
He
cool.
died?
He died from COVID.
Bro, this guy.
Do you think someone like took over the biz?
Hold on, let's hear what he's got to say here. So this is a guy on a rubber raft tour on YouTube, and he's going to visit the hot dog man. But I just want to see the part where he actually gets there. Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, the headline here, Greg Kranz, 56, owner of Delaware River Tubing and widely known as the famous River Hot Dog Man, died Monday of complications related to COVID-19.
Wow.
That was in 2021.
So here's on the website, it says how to find us. I guess they're always in one location, and I'm thinking they still sell these dogs.
I feel like he's got to have some people running that place. Like, it looks way too cool to just shut down.
What a cool business idea, man.
Has anyone ever been there? If you're listening, have you ever been to the famous River Hot Dog Man on the Delaware?
Please call in with to the mailbag.
I want to know that experience.
Yeah, I want to hear all about that because that's interesting. But Frank the Tank is a hot dog genius. He knows all the spots. Rutt's Hut, of course, you know.
Wait, imagine it. Because Frank said he wants to go there with us, or like he needs some help filming it.
Yeah.
Can you picture Frank on a tube going down the Delaware
Dude,
to
that'd be
this
amazing.
hot dog
Great
spot?
idea.
Imagine filming that.
I think we could absolutely film that.
Like you guys on the raft, I'll get the drone right above Frank. That would be I want to do this. Well, definitely look it up. I hope it's still open. If it's not, I'm going to be really mad.
We could meet him this summer over there.
Yeah, we got to do it.
All right, shall we get into the mailbag? Did either of you do anything really interesting this weekend, or should we just move on to the mailbag?
Let's just do the mailbag.
Yeah, we could just do the mailbag.
Have you golfed at all?
I golfed. I don't even remember when I golfed, but I golfed.
Right.
I played so bad. I don't even want to talk about it.
Sounds
Then
like you want
let's-
to talk about it.
No, I don't. We can do the mailbag. Well, let's tell people what the mailbag is first really quickly.
So if you want to call into the mailbag, we have a voicemail. You can leave us a voicemail, and we will get back to you as soon as we have a chance.
But what can the people share, Josh, with us?
Yeah, so typically we get a lot of voicemails, and we're not saying this is a bad thing, but we get a lot of voicemails that are like, hey, just want to let you guys know I really appreciate the podcast. That's awesome, and we
We
really
love those messages.
We love those messages, but we want to hear some juice. We want to hear the sauce, as the kids would say.
Or if you have a question about the state.
Yeah, so if you have a question about Jersey, you know, you want to, like our caller today has a question about the state. If you have a secret tip you want us to talk about, if there's a legendary story from whatever county you grew up in or town you grew up in, whatever it is, we just want to talk Jersey. So leave us a voicemail. The number for that is
908 67 99 99 3.
Hey guys, Nick here, live in Essex County. I'm calling about hiking, and I'm calling about being outdoors. This weekend, I drove an hour and a half to go see the most beautiful waterfall and propose to my girlfriend. But I want to know, why don't we have such great parks or great awareness of, hiking trails here in the state? I would love to keep it all within the state. I would love to hear what other people have to say. I know Tammany is out there, but what else is a local find that other New Jersey people would appreciate when hiking? Thanks, guys.
That is a great question. And so I was a little confused because he was saying, why don't we have great trails? But I think what he was actually saying was, it seems like there's probably some great stuff out there, but I don't know where to find it.
Yeah.
Is that what
The
you
hidden
heard?
gems. That's what he's looking for.
Well, first off, by the way, congrats, Nick, on the engagement. Hopefully
Yeah.
she said yes. He didn't say if she said yes.
Did he mention what waterfall? He just said a waterfall.
A beautiful waterfall, he said.
He didn't want to give up the spot.
Got
See,
it.
that's the issue.
He's gatekeeping.
Yeah,
he's
but that's-
gatekeeping these locations from us.
But that's what Jersey's about, is if you know a good spot, you don't want to share.
You don't
'cause
want to
then,
become overrun.
Yeah, and then it's like a million people are there in the summertime. But we
Yeah.
could give some little tidbits away today, can't we?
Well,
Yeah,
he lives in
I think
Essex
so.
County. He's probably, like he said, Mount Tammany. He knows. I guess he wants some more spots locally that he can hike to, because there's
I would
so
say-
many.
Mount Tammany's local Essex County, but it's a little drive still.
Yeah, but still, he's up there.
Yeah. So, in that same area, one of my favorite hikes, that's a little less popular than Mount Tammany. It's called Raccoon Ridge. It's on the Appalachian Trail. You take the Douglas Trail up from Worthington State Forest, so still same area as Mount Tammany, and then you connect into the Appalachian Trail around Sunfish Pond, and you start hiking north towards High Point. And I don't know, like a mile or two, once you get on the Appalachian Trail, you come to this beautiful place called Raccoon Ridge. It's like 360 views of the Delaware River
Wow.
and all the surrounding area.
I hope everyone listening had a notebook out to just
So-
write down all those directions that you just spit out at us. That was awesome.
Raccoon Ridge. I'm looking it up right now.
Raccoon
And
Ridge.
my brother.
Well, have you ever taken me there, Jimmy? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I've been here.
I don't know if you actually hiked all the way to the
Dude,
end.
this is beautiful.
Yeah.
looks pretty cool.
It's a really beautiful spot. Another one of my favorite spots up in North Jersey is in Northern Green State Forest.
Amazing. One of my favorite hikes in the state.
It's called the Winoki High Point.
Winoki.
Winoki.
How do you spell that?
I'll tell you in a second. here.
W or L?
It's W.
Winoki High Point.
Wyanokie.
John, nice spelling, Josh.
I spelled this super wrong. Oh, this looks a lot like the other one.
Yeah, both same idea.
Winoki's pretty tough though. It's a challenging hike. If you're not in shape,
Yeah, it's a lot of.
it gets you tired, but it's fun.
It's a nice hike. And then South Jersey, there's this trail in Wharton State Forest that I really like. It's called the 1808 Trail. It takes you through some cool cedar swamps.
How long is it?
Oh, it's like 2 miles maybe.
The 1808 trail.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up. Let's see what we got. Looks very swampy. You're right.
Yeah. It goes through Cedar Swamp. Beautiful area. Nice big old
Literally,
trees.
like, if there's ever a time where I'm just like, I want to go hike somewhere and I don't text Jimmy because Jimmy knows everywhere, I'll probably just Google like hiking trails in Jersey. Like, there's so many different lists compiled on the internet with just like different spots. Or you could also use alltrails.com. All Trails is a great site that kind of just shows you like pictures and like places. It's an easy way to find trails.
You can use promo code The Garden State. Imagine. Sound like you were doing that.
But also, South Jersey, if you want to do something a bit longer, maybe an overnight journey, you could do the Batona Trail. It's like
Batona.
Batona.
So many names that Jimmy's giving us right now.
54 miles, 52 miles.
50 miles long, and 22 miles of it are part of the NJ State Long Trail.
Wow.
So,
Have you done that entire hike?
no, I want to do it one day though.
I'll do that with you. You have to camp overnight. Can you just backwoods camp, or do you have to find a
No,
campground?
there's like actual campgrounds you have to camp in,
Lame.
But also, like in Essex County, there's South Mountain Reservation.
Yeah.
Which is like so beautiful.
Yeah, but it gets so packed.
It does get
On
packed.
the weekends, it's awful.
No, but I've been there on weekends, bro, and like the main areas are packed. But if you do some longer trails, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
And there's so many trails to choose from. Like I've only hiked maybe like 3 trails there, but they've all been pretty long and it's beautiful. So that's an easy local spot if you're not looking for a drive. But yeah, if you should take an hour drive, just go any direction. You'll find some crazy trails in Jersey because the state is so beautiful.
Yeah.
That's why it's the Garden State.
Great tips, guys. And thank you again, Nick, for the call. I wish you much happiness in your future marriage, my brother. And if you ever need any hiking advice, camping advice, any of that stuff, you have some masterminds, let's just say, in this podcast. There's some people in this room that would blow your mind.
I wonder who it is.
It's me. I didn't want to say it, but
And then if you need any marriage advice, Jimmy Parks.
Jimmy Parks is the man. That's why we call him Jimmy Parks.
listen, my marriage wouldn't be what it is if Jimmy hadn't given me the advice he's given me.
I can't believe Jimmy married you too. Like that was like the craziest ceremony
He's
ever.
the officiant. Yeah, crazy times.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I gave Sobo the location for his proposal.
Oh, that's right. You were a part of my marriage because you set up. Can we tell really quickly before we move on?
Yeah, for sure.
Are we going to get in trouble if we give the Actually, no.
No, we can give context to it.
Because
Didn't we share this before?
I don't know, maybe briefly, but
so basically, I was going to propose April 2021. Was that what it was? Yeah,
it was April 2021,
right when COVID struck.
No, 2020. April
I'm sorry,
2020.
you're right. That's why I felt wrong. 2020.
But yeah, so at the time, all the parks in New Jersey were closed due to COVID, and I said I know the secret way in to High Point State Park.
Yeah, you hooked it up, my brother, and I got to propose on this overlook somewhere on my Instagram. If you want to go looking at the High Point Monument, and it was beautiful, good memory. I want to go back this year, 3-year anniversary of the engagement
With the baby.
Also, while I was on the trail, you two guys were hiding in the woods to take photos of after the engagement.
Yeah, we set it up.
You guys were telling me there were bears. Like you saw a family of bears.
We saw no short of 5 bears.
Yeah, we had to text Josh being like, hey, by the way, just keep your eyes open because there's a family of bears like
He thought
right
we were
next
joking.
to us. Yeah. But no, there was actually a full pack of bears there. So, we didn't want Shelby and Josh to get mauled or, because if we frightened them and then the bears came after Josh and Shelby, that was a little concerning. But, we got through it. There was no bear attack and she said yes. So it was a beautiful day.
She said yes.
After the strenuous hike that Jimmy put her through.
Why does High Point Monument look exactly like Washington Monument? What's the point there?
They're both obelisks.
Oh, it's called an obelisk?
Yeah.
And what does it symbolize, High Point?
High Point is the Veterans Memorial for any New Jersey veteran of any war.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, that's so cool. I didn't know that. I've been there like 6 times. I had no idea.
Yeah.
So that is a symbol memorializing or honoring our veterans.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And then every year for Veterans Day, they do a big ceremony up there with all the local veterans. It's really, really cool.
We should go. I want to go to that.
It's cool. I've been there for it.
Can you remind us when it gets close? Because I'd like to go take some pictures and video.
I got some really, really cool pictures when I went there 2 years ago for it.
Oh, wow. That's so cool. And that's also the highest point in New Jersey.
It is the highest point in New Jersey.
Cool. All right, let's get into the news, guys. We have a pretty stacked lineup, and I think it'd be a good idea to get started here. All right?
Let's
give the
get
people
it.
what they want. All right, a Robbinsville, New Jersey cop was smashed by a hit-and-run driver this past week.
This is why they're always telling you to, get out of the right lane if a cop is pulling someone over. Because, it might be easy to hit them if they're like right next to the lane.
Yeah. So a township police officer has been released from the hospital 2 days after being hit by a driver of a car that left the scene of the crash. The impact was captured on the dash cam video. I mean, this video is insane.
My thing is, like, watching the video, it was, like, it's not the greatest thing to watch, but was the lady doing it on purpose?
Well, let's read the article and then I'll give you my 2 cents. So Patrolman Connor Boyle, 25, was sent home on crutches with a cast or brace on his right leg from Capitol Health Regional Medical Center on Monday, according to the police chief, Michael Pulaski. Pulaski, there's a good Polish last name. The cop who joined the department last year was struck while helping a disabled motorist on Route 130 South at 11:30 p.m. Saturday, police said. Rachel Glatt, 52 of East Windsor, is accused of being behind the wheel of a Volkswagen Passat that hit him. Patrolman Boyle is expected to make a full recovery and looks forward to getting back to work in his new position. So he's going back to work. I thought based on the video when I saw it originally that he was going to be severely disabled. Like, I look like it.
Yeah, she came in pretty hard.
So Rachel Glatt was arrested at her home in East Windsor after the crash. She is charged with 2nd-degree aggravated assault and 4th-degree assault by auto, reckless driving, failure to change lanes for an emergency vehicle, failure to report a crash, and leaving the scene of the crash, causing personal injury. So
It can go either way.
I don't think she meant to do it. She was probably on her phone or something, though.
So you think, like, she just got scared in the moment after doing it and being like, I have to get out of here. Because, like, I feel like a normal,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
a normal person would just stop and being like, all right, is this person I hit alive? Like, what did I just do? Because there was no information on like she's getting charged now because obviously she left this scene, but like I want to assume it was an accident.
Yeah, is that her? Do you think that's NJ or is that
No,
another?
the mugshot didn't look like that.
Oh, there's a mugshot. Let me see. I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's the second one right there.
Oh,
Yeah, that's her.
yeah. I think
Because if you're leaving the scene, dude, like you're gonna get in so much more trouble. I feel like if she got out of her car there, she could have at least been like, I don't know, she wouldn't have got that many charges.
Yeah, and by the way, something that's interesting that one of the things she was charged with was failure to change lanes for an emergency vehicle.
It's a huge
I'm
one.
always on the highway and I'm like, I see the cops pulling somebody over, and I always thought it was out of courtesy. You're told to get over, but it's the law. You're supposed to get over.
No, yeah, I
Yeah,
think
it's
that
the
went into
law.
effect, a few years ago? They really pushed it.
Yeah. I think it's been a law for a long time, but they really started cracking down on it. Too many people were dying.
Yeah, things like this are happening, dude. Because like some of these roads also, there's not much of a shoulder. So these guys are right on the edge of the lane and like it's super easy. And I think it was a disabled vehicle. So like they were even pulled out even further. So the cop was just trying to get the car to move to a different place. And I'm assuming, I just want to assume, I think Rachel's probably on her phone and not paying any attention. And if you want to run the video back really quickly, Josh, let's do a little review together.
Yeah, he's 25.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
he's a baby.
Here's the video. Let's check it out.
A Robbinsville police officer is counting his blessings tonight.
A Robbinsville police officer is counting his blessings. How do I sound?
Put that volume up on YouTube all the way.
Do you think I could be an anchorman?
Yeah, I say you just own it.
I want to learn that voice. Let's keep listening, and I'll try later.
Blessings tonight. He survived a frightening hit-and-run crash. This video might be tough to watch. The car slammed right into patrolman Connor Boyle on Route 130 late Saturday night.
Okay, yeah, it looks like she's coming right at him, dude. She must have been very distracted on her phone to be coming in at that angle.
Yeah, I think. Why did I just go full screen? Sorry. I think that she probably. You could never know. Maybe she wanted to hit him. I feel like it just looks like worst place, worst time kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. And if that ever happens to you, stop.
Let's be honest. You've never kind of drifted onto the rumble pad before.
I have.
And you hear that, and you're like, oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a reason that's there. It's because that's been there before cell phones existed. Like, it's just a way to keep you.
But if I hit someone, I know way better. I know better than to leave the scene of a crash.
Yeah, and the other thing is,
you're
at
screwed.
night, it's nighttime and there's flashing police lights. Like, how if I'm driving at night on the highway and I see a police officer on the side of the road, I'm immediately like, all right, 10 and 2, let's keep it tight here. I can't screw up. The guy's gonna pull me over. Even if he's like already pulling somebody else over, you still kind of straighten up, right?
I'm moving away. I don't want to come anywhere near this guy because that's freaky.
So, but shout out to this officer, Connor Boyle, 25-year-old patrolman. He's going to be back on the job. Have a speedy recovery, my man. And to Miss Boyle, that Boyle says, I'm sorry, I'm messing everything up right now. And to Miss Glatt,
I think she might be going to the slammer.
I have a feeling it's not looking good, and it's unfortunate because this is truly a case of. It appears, we don't know what her motive was. It appears this was a mistake
that she could have fixed if she stayed on the scene. If she's say that happened and she stayed on the scene, what would she still get charged with something if it was an accident?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Even if it was an accident?
Yeah, I think it'd be less. I think it would not be nearly as bad as it's going to be now that she left.
But what if it was an what if it was an accident?
Well, accident. That's the difference between manslaughter and murder. I think is like murder is there's. I'm not I used to say this a lot. I'm not a lawyer. I think that your intent doesn't really matter. If you hit somebody with your car, like if you're texting and driving, and you don't mean to hit somebody with your car.
But what if you're not texting and driving, you actually hit someone by the car, like just by accident?
I think if you drift off the highway while and you don't leave the lane, that's why there's that law about switching lanes.
Yeah.
Then you broke the law and you're going to be tried.
Got it.
I don't know if she's going to go to jail or if it's going to be a lot of fines.
Probably ton of fines. Yeah.
Maybe she'll lose her license, but. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see.
Can't believe she left. That's the stupidest thing you could ever do.
Yeah, why would you leave?
You're just ruining your life by leaving the scene. Like, face it and, bite the bullet, pay some fines, and that's it. You're free. Now she's screwed. Now she's going to jail.
Yeah, I think if she hit him and then pulled over and got out, it would be a lot.
Dude, the video is also it's pretty gruesome. Like, it looks like he's gonna that could have easily killed him.
Yeah,
I can't believe he's walking away.
Actually, Frank the Tank showed me this video.
Yeah, that's how I saw it at the diner. Yeah, that's how I found this article. He's like, he was like randomly, he was so quiet, just like on his phone. Then he was just like check this out. He puts his phone up. We're like, all right, Frank, what do you got for us?
That was really good. Yeah. So crazy. But yeah, to reiterate what I said before, she's getting charged with 2nd-degree aggravated assault, 4th-degree assault by auto, reckless driving, failure to change lanes for an emergency vehicle, failure to report a crash, and leaving the scene of a crash causing personal injury.
Pain.
So that's no bueno. Luckily, he didn't die. When I saw the video originally, I thought, there's no way he's still alive.
Yeah, I didn't want to watch it.
We have a few police stories back to back tonight. This next one is a bit different than the last, but check this out. The state of New Jersey is introducing new rules that will require cops to reveal personal social media posts.
So a cop can't have a private social media. Like, they have to have everything shown to their department?
Yes, that's it. That sounds exactly like what's going to be going on. It says all police officers in New Jersey would have to provide access to their social media accounts and disclose any organizations they belong to under new licensing rules set to take effect in 2024. Attorney General Matt Platkin released the new rules Monday. The social media and organizational disclosures are designed to root out officers that may have bigoted views or pose a risk to attempting to overthrow the government.
Wow.
Has there been something like some guy like trying to do that and now they're like, all right, we don't trust anyone?
No, this is just the thought police. They want to make sure you're not saying anything offensive. I mean, let me finish the article and then we can actually get into how we feel about what's actually happening. So in a statement, Platkin said that the proposed rules will restore public confidence in law enforcement. I think it'll do the opposite of that. I think it's just going to make law enforcement more miserable and you're going to lose good cops.
Yeah, all the good ones are going to leave.
I think this state, for whatever reason, is like hell-bent on making it impossible to like... I don't think it sounds very appealing at all to be a police officer anymore.
All right, keep going.
I would agree with you there.
So, okay. And in addition to the disclosure mentioned above, officers will also have to undergo psychological examinations to continue to take training courses in order for their licenses to be renewed. Veteran officers in good standing will automatically be granted temporary licenses when the new rules take effect, but will need to comply with the regulations in order to have that license renewed. New Jersey was one of the few states in the U.S. that did not already have licensing system in place for the police. So this is a new act that Governor Murphy introduced in 2022, the Police Licensure Act, requiring all New Jersey law enforcement officers to obtain a license. So I guess that actually creates some sort of a funnel system where they then can establish rules that the officers have to comply to in order to be police officers. Although that doesn't make a lot of sense because I mean, I'd love to hear from a cop. I feel like I'm talking out of terms here. So Platkin specifically stressed rules that seek to flag any officer found to have mishandled or destroyed evidence or was biased against a particular class of people based on a protected characteristic such as race, color, national origin, gender, or sexual orientation. And if an officer was an active member of a group advocating for or promoting overthrowing the government. They got to throw that line in there. So my question is, how invasive actually is this if the state's just going to have access to your social media?
My guess on this whole thing would be that they wouldn't be looking at everyone's stuff all the time. Only if something came up, they would have the ability to do it.
Oh, you're saying, see, that's what I'm curious about. Is it the type of thing where like someone submits a complaint to the department, then they go, hey, we're going to look at your social media?
I think so.
So you can't have, is it saying you can't have a privated, say, Facebook or private Instagram account?
No, you definitely still could have a private Instagram account, but if you got reported for it, you'd probably have to like give access for them to see it.
That's what this is. That what this is saying though?
That's what I'm wondering.
That's why I was confused by the wording of it.
It sounds, based on this article, it sounds a lot more invasive than just like, because that's like what any employer would do, right?
Yeah.
Like if you work for PSE&G and you post something racist on Facebook, you're going to get reported and your employer is going to go, hey, what'd you post on? If they see it, you're going to lose your job.
So I think to some extent, right, if you're a public official, no matter if you're on the job or off the job, you probably should be professional to some extent, right?
Agreed, yeah.
So, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't want anybody just nosing through my stuff, even though like I'm not posting anything inappropriate. Mm-hmm. I still just wouldn't want anyone who I didn't expressly give access to be looking through my stuff.
So here's what I'm curious about, because I think we all would agree on that. Like we were all told when we were in high school, careful what you put on Facebook. Employers should see it. You know,
It's there forever.
It's there forever. It's on the internet. Totally agree with that. What I'm curious about is like, okay, so if you've ever hung out with a cop, which all of us know a bunch of cops.
Yeah.
Cops,
We're for the cops here in the Garden State.
of course, yeah, and like we have a lot of close cops to us. Cops have some of the darkest sense of humor, I think, of any field of people that you'll be around, and in a way where it's like, I think it's almost like a coping thing with all the craziness that they deal with at work. It's like nothing really phases cops. That they'll have a CCTV video of someone getting run over by an 18-wheeler, and it's like, did you see this? And you're like, oh my, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like they're very. To me, I think the line of work you're in, much like being, maybe you work in an emergency room, you become desensitized to like horrible stuff.
Yeah.
And as a result, the sense of humor that a lot of these guys have is very, intense. So like if you follow, let's say, an offensive meme page, which most meme pages nowadays are kind of edgy, right? Like not an offensive, let's say an edgy meme page. Is the state going to be able to see like, oh, you like this meme that's kind of like edgy? Like, Memes are not like you're pledging your allegiance to something. It's more just like an acknowledgement. Do you know what I mean? Like you could like a meme and not agree with the sentiment behind it, but still kind of find it to be funny. And then
it's
it's
so lighthearted. It's like, it's not that deep.
That's what I'm wondering is like, if you like a bad meme, is it like, are they going to know? I don't know. Maybe it's just like we were talking about before, like the state, if you are reported, like you do something really, really offensive and wrong, or say something explicitly, bad, you're going to get reported to your department. Sorry,
cut you off, my bad.
No, I was just on a tangent, so you could cut me off. It's okay.
Read that first line of the article again.
All police officers in New Jersey would have to provide access to their social media accounts and disclose any organizations they belong to under a new licensing rules.
See, it says they would need to provide access to their social media. So I feel like that means that they're giving access to these employers of them.
Well, let's find.
So I think at the end of the day, I would just delete my social media at that point, right? Like,
at the end of the day, just don't post anything stupid.
Well, yeah. At the end of the day, don't post anything stupid.
Yeah, but that's dumb. But that's what my point about the memes. Like,
no. I mean, like, obviously, no. You could post dumb memes. I'm not saying that. I'm saying don't post anything stupid, or obviously blatantly racist, or like
a lot of memes are offensive, and it may not be racist, but like it's like that's the point of humor. And okay, so this is the objection I'm making. Humor is offensive. Like I think that's the point of comedy. Comedy steps on people's toes.
We're in the same boat.
And
here.
Last week we had an article on Union County, the county seal. They're removing it because it depicts a woman 300 years ago getting shot, and that's offensive towards women getting shot. So my point is, who's going to determine what's actually, who's going to be the person with the discretion to go, that's offensive. That's not offensive. That's a meme. That's a meme, but it's a hurtful meme. You know what I mean?
I think the memes are. I don't think the memes are bothering them at all.
I think there's going to be like a code of ethics and rules written around this. That's the only way this is going to get through lawyers and all that stuff.
I think it's just like straight up like don't post like anything racist, like that's clearly racist.
Okay,
or, like,
so
if you're part of the extremist group, which
I disagree. I don't think it's going to be that clear cut at all. I think it's 2023. Everything's offensive. You think it's literally going to be like, oh, you're pledging yourself to the KKK? Like, that's not what it's going to be. We all, like, who's going to put on their Facebook that they're a member of, like, an extremist group? No, I don't think so. I think cops are pretty professional. I think you have to, in a state like New Jersey, like, and we know, I'm speaking not generally, I'm speaking anecdotally about the cops that we come in contact with, all very professional guys that would never pledge themselves to an extremist group. So then you go, and for the record, if someone was pledged to an extremist group, they should lose their job for sure. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, at what point are we going to make being a cop so miserable that we're just going to lose all good cops? Because the cops I know in my life, I go, so how stringent are we about to be with, like, what does that mean? Access to your social media. If it's what we all go through with our jobs.
I wonder if our boys know about this.
We could call and ask.
Yeah. I don't want to bring it on the air because they might not be comfortable, but yeah, we got to talk to them.
But my point is, like, look, if it's what all of us go through, a level of professionalism with work, we don't put things on Facebook and Instagram.
It's common sense.
I don't share stuff. Like my Instagram, my Facebook are very clean cut because first off, I don't want to be controversial, but also, and I know this is a controversial conversation, but I don't want to be controversial, but also we all live with a level of professionalism, right?
It's
And,
just
like,
natural to us.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I might like a meme from time to time where I'm like, should I have liked that? You know, maybe I'll unlike it just because it's like, that's what humor has kind of become. It's like, remember like dark jokes from 10 years ago? Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff where you're like, oh man, that's, you know, does liking it mean like you want to poster it as your belief system, or is it, I don't know. I feel like I'm sounding like a crazy
I
person.
just feel like a lot of people in this state just hate cops. Like people just hate the cops.
And I mean, we just went through like 3 years of like the most tense, you know,
Yeah.
discourse between
When
the
mo-
public and police.
When there are like bad cops, but like most cops are not bad.
Well, the ones that we know, that's what I mean when I go anecdotally. Like I think the reason I'm speaking the way I'm speaking is I know the stress that a lot of these people go through. Where like the story we just talked about, this guy got hit. He was helping somebody out of their car, gets hit by hit by a car. Cops pull people over at night. They have no idea who's in the car. They could have a gun on them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Stressful job. And then you have people that get there's lawsuits. There's this. There's that. It's not an appealing job, I think, anymore. I'll be honest. I wouldn't want to be a cop nowadays. It sounds like a terrible job. You really got to feel a level of like personal conviction that you want to do it. But then you go, what kind of access is the state then going to have to your personal social media account? Because then it's like you go home and to unwind, you go on TikTok or Instagram and look at stupid stuff and send your friends memes. And then it's like, I don't know. But if it's what Jimmy's saying, then I agree with you totally, Jimmy. Like if you're on your Facebook sharing racist stuff, then yeah, I mean, that's ridiculous. Like,
It's common sense. Even if you're not a cop, like, don't be sharing anything that's racist.
Yeah.
But is that what this is about? I have no idea. I feel like we should have. I'm reading other articles and it's still not clear. I'm sure they'll make it more clear. It's probably not as invasive as we're assuming, but
It just by reading through a few articles, it just sounds like it is invasive, and that's why like I added the story. Yeah, I don't know all the fine print of it, so something to look more into.
I think the reason it bothers me is it automatically puts an onus of kind of guilt on, like the way the articles are written, at least, and journalists, I guess, all have a bias where they're like, this is going to restore our trust. Like, I don't need to know what's on your social media to restore our trust. Just do your job well.
Exactly,
and we'll trust you. Like, I don't need that level of...
We don't need that at all.
Like, I don't need to know what your marriage is like. You know what I mean? Like, it's like how personal do we want to get?
Trust issues. People don't trust anyone these days, and that's what's terrible about the society that we live in.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're going to lose some listeners because of that combo, but I just...
let them leave, dude, because it's just common sense.
I feel like that's how I feel like. I think everybody would agree. Everybody would agree if we saw anybody, cop, fireman, accountant, whatever.
My mom.
Like you see videos of people that go through. Do you remember that viral video of a guy that went through a drive-through and he was really nasty? Do you guys remember this? Like 5 years ago, I think it was like a Chick-fil-A or something. He was super nasty to the kid working there.
Yeah.
He was like an executive at some company and literally lost his job like 2 days later because we all collectively go, "Hey, there's no place for that. There's no place for the nastiness. If you're going to share crazy stuff, someone on your page it's gonna get out. You know, if you're an idiot and you want to put that stuff up, I don't know. What do you think?
We'll see. I'm in the same boat with you guys. Like I trust people to be an adult. Like I trust people not to just be posting racist or extremist things on their social media pages. And guess what? We live in a world where there's going to be people who are doing it because people are idiots and people are just like that. But I feel like for the most part, most people are not doing that. And that's why I don't think that they need to be so invasive into these social media accounts. They need to learn to trust people. We need to learn how to trust people again.
I think if there was a way to root out those people without it putting a burden on all the people, like maybe
that's the problem. It puts a burden on everyone.
Let's say 1% of the people are really evil and there's that are putting things on Facebook and stuff. And the other 99% are just trying to go to work and go home and live their life. Then it's like, you're kind of, I don't know. It's kind of ruins the game for everybody, I feel like. But Jimmy, what were you going to say? You had some thoughts on this.
I think I said pretty much everything I wanted to say.
Oh, okay. I don't know. We'll have to see.
We'll talk to our buddies this week and see what they all have to say. I wonder if they know some more information that we don't at the moment.
We'll have to find out. But yeah, stop sharing memes, my boys. Just kidding. I don't know what kind of memes people are sharing, but I just think the one final thing I want to say, to reiterate what I was saying before, the reason I think this is like, if you hang out with a cop for more than an hour, like most of them are like pretty numb to offensive stuff. And like, you gotta kind of be that way if you're gonna pull people over and they're gonna be like, what do you pull me over? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the nature of like your life is conflict. And like, I don't know. I just feel like it's hard to compare a cop to a lot of other careers besides military, and
it's brutal, bro.
It's a different type of thing.
Gotta be built different.
All right, we have another police story. This one's we got back to back, and this one's even more different than the last two. So this one's ridiculous. A South Jersey police department went viral this past week after rescuing a snake they nicknamed Death Noodle.
This is way off the walls.
Meanwhile,
what's the backstory of Death Noodle? Is that something I should know?
No, they're making it. It's like a noodle, a death noodle, like a snake could bite you and kill you.
Okay,
but like we're going, nah, cops are pretty professional guys, man. Like cops, for the most part, you could trust them. And then we go on the next story. It's these cops in South Jersey are calling a snake a death noodle.
What kind of snake was it?
Listen. If I agree, I hate snakes. Even the friendliest of snakes. They are all deadly to me, even if they're not. I just hate snakes. So this story is hilarious.
Over the weekend, the Deptford Police Department made waves across the internet when it posted news that one of its officers rescued a large snake from a basement of a home. In the post, they jokingly referred to the snake as a death noodle. Sergeant Grogan's patrol squad was dispatched to an animal call. When they arrived, it was learned that the death noodle became stuck in the basement of a home. The snake was safely removed and released into a wooded area. So on Monday, the department provided an update. It said, we received multiple messages by several local amateur herpetologists.
Herpetologists.
Is that like a snake expert?
Yeah.
Indicating that the snake was a harmless rat snake and posed no danger to the homeowner. They felt our remarks were insensitive.
Oh, the herpetologists got pissed.
These are the people that
got
like,
offended.
These are the people that, this is the issue. This is my whole point with the social media thing. You have people that are offended by Death Noodle that this is why.
It's a joke.
Wait, so my point before about the meme thing, what's offensive to us in this room is a pretty wide spectrum. We're all adults. We can handle a lot of offensive stuff. What's offensive to a lot of people out there, you're going to have this type of stuff.
I know
think.
a snake lady and she's crazy.
The snake lady got mad because they made a joke and called the snake a death noodle.
Who
cares?
Who's this herpetologist? Where does she work?
Who cares?
Who's she with?
I don't know. They renamed him though. They renamed him Julius Squeezer.
Read the whole thing.
Okay, so in an effort to remain transparent, we tracked down the snake in question. He's a 5-foot-long rat snake, born and raised in Deptford Township. His name is Julius Squeezer.
Oh, that's cool.
Wait, so the cops saw this, got this complaint, and they clapped back with a great joke. That's really funny, and it's funny because this lady is probably one of those people that's like,
they find an issue with every little thing.
Well, it's like snakes have a bad. It's kind of like how people are with pit bulls, which I mean,
snakes have souls too.
Well, I'm not making any sort of a statement on pit bulls. You could love them, you could hate them. I don't really care. I like all dogs, but some people get really dicey on social media about pit bulls. Like, they have a bad reputation and like they're sweet dogs. I feel like that's what this lady's doing with a snake. Like, snakes are not bad. You know, humans kill more snakes than snakes.
It's a harmless rat snake.
But bro, snakes are creepy. Everybody can agree with that.
If I saw a rat snake in my house, dude, straight up, I hope a herpetologist is listening. I'm snapping that head, taking a shovel right to it and murdering it. We might get some hate for that, guys. I'm not here saying I'm going to kill animals.
People like you.
If there was a snake in your bathroom when you're, my biggest fear is like, you're in the
coming
bathroom,
out of the toilet,
a snake shows up, putting bleach down that toilet, and immediately, I don't care. It's a snake.
There are some creatures that I could kill them and I feel nothing, no remorse. Spiders, yeah.
And if we're outside in nature, I see a snake, I'm not going to be like, let me just go murder this thing. No, I'm going to let the snake live. But like, if a snake is in a place, especially Josh, in your house where you have a 2-month-old daughter.
Yeah, man.
If a snake is in your house, I see nothing wrong with you taking a knife and just slicing that thing up.
I'm going primal if there's a snake in my house.
Exactly.
You're going to hear me make monkey noises. I'm going to grab that thing. I think it's just so
stupid. I think people are just... This lady just probably gets upset over the dumbest little things, and she's probably miserable. So
wait until the state has all the police officers' Facebook posts, and a guy shares that he found a snake in his house, and he named it
Death Noodle,
and the animal people come after him. Everybody just needs to chill out.
It's a beautiful story. It blew up on the town page. The whole town loved it. And this one person just had to, freak out about it.
I think we all just need a day at the beach right now in New Jersey. I think the Memorial Day weekend can't come fast enough. We all
it's been a long winter.
Trip to the shore. You guys ever listen to 101.5 like talk radio throughout the day?
No.
They have these conversations. This is a tangent, but I was thinking about it. They have conversations where I'm like, there must be nothing left to talk about in the state of New Jersey.
That's what I want to. Every day, every hour.
Why,
New topic.
what did they say?
They had a guy calling the other day. I was driving to the supermarket.
Whose show was it?
Dennis and Judy, maybe.
Okay.
This guy called. Yeah, it was Dennis and Judy. This guy calls in and he's like, a dream of mine before I die is to publish a book. And I wrote a book. I don't know how to publish it though. Can you guys help me figure that out? And they literally went, the phone lines are open, ladies and gentlemen. If you know how to publish a book, we're going to help Jimmy get his book. I don't know what his name was. Get his book out there to the world. And they had people calling in like, oh, my uncle's friend worked for Penguin Publishing and I could try to find his email. And
that's
like,
cool though.
I guess, but it's like there's more pressing matters. Like go on Google. Like you could Google how do I publish a book, and Amazon publishes books for you.
If we got a mailbag and someone was like, "Can you guys help me publish a book?" I'd be honored. I'd be like, "This is the coolest mailbag we've ever gotten."
Yeah, but we're not the radio. We're not eating up airwaves. We're just a couple of idiots in a living room.
Some smart idiots in the living room, that's for sure.
That's right.
Some good-looking idiots.
We're definitely dumb, smart idiots
that look really good.
Ridiculously good looking.
I'm so ridiculously good looking.
All right. Well, the death noodle shall live on, a 5-foot long snake.
He's in Deptford in the woods right now. He's living his best life. So hopefully he doesn't sneak into any other homes because that would be bad. He might die.
I feel like rat snake's a great insult.
Yeah.
You're a rat snake. You're nothing but a rat snake. That's all you're
a
ever gonna
rat snake.
Yeah. It's like two awful animals combined.
Yeah. Because you can be just a snake and you can be a rat.
He's a rat.
Snake.
Yeah, but both of those, a rat and a snake, are both like people that aren't trustworthy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yep.
A rat's somebody that's, they're talking too much. A snake is someone slithering around. A rat snake, though, that's a Julius Squeezer.
I'm going to start calling people that.
Julius Squeezer. Good to see they got some humor down in this police department in Deptford Township.
Camden County.
Camden County. Represent.
So in Howell, New Jersey, residents are being told they may need to evacuate the area due to a chemical dump in February.
It's quite concerning.
Oh, man. That's
in February. It's April.
Yeah, what's been going on these past 2 months?
It's a lot of info to be thrown out there. Just like, hey.
It's kind of shocking headline right there, Josh. Maybe read the story so people might feel a little better if you're from Howell.
Residents have been notified that they might need to evacuate as a result of an illegal chemical dump discovered after a fire at a former chemical manufacturing site in February. After firefighters smelled a chemical odor during a fire at the former compounder site on Marl Road on February 9th, on the Farmingdale border, the Monmouth County Department of Health was called in to investigate.
Dun, dun, dun.
Their initial, and we should get that sound effect on the board.
Yeah, we do.
Their initial examination of the property found large quantities of 55-gallon drums and smaller containers around the property. They also discovered materials spilled on the ground, open drums, and solid waste. So this is just going on. Like, this would not have happened if the fire... We wouldn't have known if the fire didn't happen.
So the fire was actually a good thing, right? So we knew about all this.
Yeah, but like, how often does this stuff happen at companies?
I hope not too often.
We got to crack down on this, guys. The New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection's Bureau of Emergency Response found 200 to 300 drums and containers on the property, many of which are bulging, rusting, denting, or leaking.
Uh-oh.
This sounds like this is how you become a superhero, it sounds like.
Oh, yeah.
Like, let's show up, we're going to become Static Shock. Did you ever watch that show?
No.
Jimmy, did you?
No.
Neither of you watched that?
What show is it?
Static Shock.
No. What network?
I think it was WB11.
No, dude.
Oh, this show is awesome, man.
I only watched Seventh Heaven on WB11. Maybe. I don't remember. I only watched Rocket Power, Hey Arnold. Those are like my go-tos. Dude.
I love Static Shock, but that's an ADD moment. Let's keep moving on here. After all the drums were removed from the property, investigation will be ongoing with the state, NJ, DEP, and EPA to determine what, if any, impacts have occurred to groundwater, soil, and surface water, OEM said in their letter last month. So kind of scary to think that this could seep into the ground and then get into our water supply. Right?
Yeah. So wait, they're monitoring it right now?
Yeah, they got to get rid of the drums, and they're testing everything, and they're going to let us know. In a letter to residents dated April 17th, OEM said air monitors have been placed at 2 locations outside the property. The EPA has started to sample the chemicals in order to identify them, plus sort and arrange the containers. They say this reduces the risk of fire or a need for evacuation. I feel like if your company does this, it should just cease to exist. Like you should be fined into oblivion.
Why was it 2 months since the fire that they're now doing the monitoring?
I think they began the monitor on February 9th. I see
No,
what
because
you're
it
saying.
said in a letter placed April 17th,
yeah.
the monitors had been placed. So
That's a good question. I don't know.
I wonder if maybe they weren't aware that there was a leak in the past few months and they recently just discovered it. So yeah, I was looking at another article, Josh, and they were actually fined. I'm just
$1
trying
million.
to see. Yeah, if you want to read into that.
It says the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection fined the operators of an abandoned industrial site more than $1 million for violating environmental regulations. So they are being fined, but is $1 million enough? Can they just write that check and then move on with life?
Dang, and the town officials already set up the evacuation plan if it needs to go into effect.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so imagine living in that town. Like if you're, maybe we do have some people in Howell who listen to the podcast, but like I wonder if that caused a little bit of chaos within the town, or are people just like kind of, are they fine with this? It's kind of scary knowing like you might have to just pack up any second just to get out because of contamination.
And the other thing is, if you live in an area like that and everything is contaminated, how long does it take for it to be truly good again? You know, if a water supply is kind of tainted, is it something that like in 6 months could be better, or is it like forever? You know, like
how widespread is that?
Doesn't look super huge. Site location. So there's a 1 mile buffer, and there's a half-mile buffer for the stream. So it looks like a 1 mile radius has been mapped around the location.
Okay, so a few small neighborhoods in there, probably are in the evacuation zone.
There's a lot of brooks and streams running through there, though.
That's what's scary. It could be like going all over the place, and we don't even know.
On to some brighter news. A Kenilworth, New Jersey 6-year-old cartwheeler went viral this past week and captured the hearts of the internet.
This video is the cutest thing I've seen in a long time on the internet.
Very
if you
cute.
haven't seen it.
So if you haven't seen the video, there's a girl playing softball and hits the ball while running to first base. Just does the most perfect cartwheel you've ever seen in your life.
Well, also you gotta mention that in this league, once someone hits the ball, there's no positions. It's every man for themselves. Everyone's just trying to tackle each other to get the baseball.
Did you guys play baseball at this age?
I didn't know.
No, I didn't.
I love this, but it always annoyed me that like
Did you?
yeah, I played T-ball.
Was it like that when you played?
Yeah, because I always got really annoyed. Like, why is everybody running all over? Like, stay in your position.
Well, did you know exactly that they had to be in their positions, or were you just confused?
Because what they do is they'd set you in a location to kind of teach you, oh, this is where second base would be. And like they're playing only infield. So I'm sure like right field is probably by first base. But like 8 people ran in to get the ball. And while they're grabbing the ball.
She cleared that kid. She just cleared him by like a few inches.
She does a cartwheel, man. And the funny thing is, Kenilworth, local, man.
I drive past that field all the time. So when I saw that was posted on the internet, I sent it to some friends. I was like, this is 5 minutes from where we're filming this podcast right now.
Yeah.
So
Right
apparently,
down the road.
this girl, she does this every game. Like she's the cartwheel girl now, apparently.
That's awesome. Trademark move.
I know. She just goes through and like, I guess she gets away with it every time because once you hit the ball, everyone goes for it. But like, so every game, doesn't that get old after a while?
I'm sure the first time you're like, wow, that was really cute.
No,
And then,
not the
like,
cartwheel. I mean, like all the kids running for the ball. Is that every single batter?
I took it the same way as you.
Is T-ball like that?
Yes, it is. So they just put the ball on the tee and you hit it and everybody runs for the ball.
And it was like that when you played?
I vaguely remember it being chaos.
Like, do you remember being in the field when you were T-ball?
Yes.
And you would like hold your ground, chill in your position?
Yeah, I just remember being like, why is it so disorganized?
Oh, so you were just like, these idiots. No one knows what they're doing.
Yeah, because you should wait for the ball to come to you.
Yes.
Or, and play defense. But it just would be chaos. And I mean, they always had a kid on the pitcher's mound too. And that always really annoyed me. I was probably 5, but I was like, you're not pitching. There is no pitcher. It's T-ball, dude.
You're just standing there.
Go play a position.
Yeah.
I guess you could grab the ball as a pitcher still, even though you're not pitching it. But I just remember it really annoyed me.
Wait, this 6-year-olds are doing this? When do you move on to Little League?
I think
Like 7?
T-ball is probably 5 to 6, and then 7 to 9 you're playing like, some Little
I
League
played when I was like 8 years old. I was in the Little League. I mean, and at that point, obviously, you're playing positions and all that. But this
Little
just
League,
looks
man,
like madness.
it's so intense. But I think it's a heartwarming video, and we all know
You need
Kenilworth. Kenilworth, that is a very recognizable baseball diamond.
Union County, baby.
So,
It's our turf here on the Garden State. We own Union County.
moving though from Union County to Morris County, Aaron Rodgers is officially a New York Jet and is excited about his adventure.
You know, it is nice to hear, like in interviews, Rodgers being like, "Yeah, I'm excited to be here."
Yeah.
Like it's been a while since we got that Super Bowl. Let's make it happen. And you're a Jets fan. I'm not too heavy of a Jets fan. I just watch football. I don't have a team, but I'm actually stoked for you guys. Do you think you guys, Aaron Rodgers has what it takes to go to the Super Bowl?
I got to be honest, I don't really care.
But do you think that Rodgers can do it for you guys or no?
I don't follow the Jets. I've given up kind of on the Jets, to be totally honest. And I'm sure he has a lot of juice in him, but the rest of the team, I just feel like is not there. And I don't know enough about the Jets right now to say one way or the other. It reminds me of when I remember I went to Brett Favre's first game as a New York Jet. That was like a decade ago. And it just was like, I don't know. They brought Brett Favre in and nothing happened.
I look at last season. Aaron Rodgers, did he make the playoffs? He did not. He was sitting at home while Daniel Jones was leading the Giants through the playoffs. So I don't know if that, speaks volumes or not of what this season's going to look like, but hopefully Aaron Rodgers has a new just burst of energy in him. And being on this new team, it's a fresh start. So he wants to show Zach Wilson what's up. Hopefully it's everything the Jets need at the moment, because a lot of people are worried. A lot of people are doubting Aaron Rodgers. I honestly have no idea where the season's going to go. I think it's going to be pure entertainment. And, I'm rooting for them.
So I drove by, the reason I said Morris County, I drove by the Jets training facility today.
Yeah.
You can see it from Route 24. And that's where the pictures of him walking into the facility were at the Jets training facility. And the question I want to know is, where in New Jersey do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to live?
Summit.
Yeah, literally, where all these other.
You think Summit?
Yeah. Easy.
You don't think he's like a Hoboken guy?
No.
Jersey City?
No.
Why Summit?
Morristown?
A little more property. A little nicer house.
Summit's pretty tight.
Short
though.
Hills? Montclair?
Short Hills, I could see. Montclair,
No.
nuh-uh.
I thought Summit too because Eli's there.
Yeah, everyone's in Summit.
Yeah.
You're in Summit.
For goodness sakes, man.
And you still haven't run into Eli.
Yeah. I mean,
I have.
you ran into
Did
Eli
you?
at Dunkin' Donuts, right?
Yeah, it was the day after Josh's wedding, actually.
Yep.
Or was it your wedding?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Josh wasn't there, so it was me and the boys. Yeah, we pulled into the Dunkin' Donuts at Summit to get our breakfast. It was the morning after the wedding, and literally, like, we got our food. We sit in the car.
Yeah.
Who pulls up on their bike with 3 kids? I stopped for a second. Or one of my friends saw it. He was like, "That's Eli Manning." And I was just like, "Wait a second, what? Like, this
Yeah.
dude looks so normal, but he's massive." And it was Eli Manning, and he was on his bike, and
That's
he had
awesome.
like one of those like baby carriages like attached to his bike for the little one, and then 2 other kids behind him on a bike. And I was just like, well, oh my gosh, I've watched this guy on TV for years. It's Eli freaking Manning. Right in front of me, walking into Dunkin' Donuts. Like normal dude, just getting his food for his family. And I was so close, guys, to just getting out, letting it all out, and just being like, Eli, can I get a photo?
Yeah.
But I didn't want to bother him. I
has-
wanted him to enjoy his day with his family. It was a weekend. It was a Saturday or Sunday. I don't remember. But like,
Sunday.
it was a Sunday, confirmed by Josh. But it was kind of crazy. I'm just like, dude, like there's celebrities left and right in this town. And sometimes we forget about that.
Well, and his house is actually surprisingly humble. Like, there's some houses in Summit that, I mean, I look at them and I'm just like, what do you have to do for a living to live there?
Yeah.
Talking about $10 million houses.
Yeah.
And his house, don't get me wrong, beautiful house, maybe a $2 million house or whatever. Very humble, though, compared to a lot of these massive houses that are there.
160 million net worth. Wow.
160 mil.
That's a lot of money.
That's crazy. he invests that and gets a 7% return, which is pretty conservative, I think. Maybe that's like the average, I think. You're talking, that's like $12 million.
We're talking bills.
It's a lot of money.
A year in
Talking
just like
bills, baby.
investments, but he probably makes way more than that.
Especially with brand deals and stuff now, and like also being on TV all the time. Like,
Isn't he the spokesman of Dunkin' Donuts?
wait,
Josh, that all makes
whoa.
sense.
That's
Wait a
so
second.
crazy that you saw him at Dunkin' and he's like the national spokesperson
Oh,
for
he probably has like
Dunkin'.
a lifetime gift card or something, right? Like
Definitely,
free Dunkin' for
definitely.
life. It's Eli Manning, and he was a spokesman, I thought.
Wait, that's got to be so.
I didn't even think about that.
Wow, he is. But isn't that so crazy that there's like probably 10,000 Dunkin' Donuts in America, right? Like thousands of them. And you see him just casually going to a Dunkin' Donuts with his kids, and he's the national spokesman.
Oh, we're thinking about it now. I don't want to get it wrong because it's right next to it. It might have been Manhattan Bagel.
No shot.
Because Manhattan Bagel is right next to Dunkin'.
You told me
right?
Dunkin'. You sent me a
Did
photo
I?
of it too. Yeah, you sent me a photo.
I did
of
send you a
like-
photo. It was just so long ago, I forgot. But yeah, that'd be crazy.
We gotta get Eli on the pod.
I would love to talk to Eli Manning, but I think he's probably hard to get in touch with.
No, come on. We got Frank the Tank. We get Eli.
True.
Same category, right?
Yeah,
Same tax
sports.
bracket. Same world. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers, man.
All right. Well, this last story of the night is...
Maybe you'll become a Jets fan again.
I am a
If
Jets
they, if
fan.
they win the Super Bowl, are you going to jump right back on?
I just... I was raised a Jets fan. My dad's the biggest Jets fan I ever knew in my life.
What does he think about Aaron Rodgers? Did he say anything to you?
I haven't talked to him.
I
I'll have
haven't
to
asked him.
and
Give him a
ask
call.
My dad was at a Jets game when my mom went to labor with my brother in 1989. Got a call on his beeper.
Nice.
Jets,
His beeper.
Jets Raiders, 1989. And had to leave the game.
Did they win the game?
Let's find out. Jets Raiders, 1989 at the Meadowlands. Wow. October 9th. Yeah, my brother's born October 10th.
Dang.
That's so funny. Raiders won, so they didn't miss out on much.
All right, cool.
Classic.
That was back when they were the LA Raiders, though.
Jimmy, do you know where the Raiders are currently?
No idea.
You don't?
No.
Can you just take a guess? What city are the Raiders from? Still, okay, I'll give you this. Still west side of the country.
What were they then?
The lost, they were the
LA? you
LA
said?
Raiders, yeah.
Well, this is a trick. This is a trick question.
Wait.
Come on, Jimmy.
It's still California, right?
Well, it was. You'd be right. Like 2 years ago.
Oh, they're Los Angeles.
No, they were the LA.
Las Vegas.
Yes.
They
Good
went
job,
from
Jim.
they went from LA
Yep.
to Oakland.
Yes.
And then they became the Las Vegas Raiders. And similarly, the
A's now.
Oakland A's
Yeah.
are now in Vegas.
Well, they're going to be in 2025.
That's sad for me
Why?
because I just always associate the A's with Oakland.
I know, it's weird.
It is a very, I feel kind of the same. Like, I know it had to happen, but at the same time, there's a part of me that I feel kind of sad. Like, there's that 90s Oakland A's kind of image in my mind that doesn't exist anymore.
Also, I have
It's
to say,
different.
I do not wear hats, but I kind of want an A's hat just because they're so cool.
It's a nice hat.
It's a cool logo. I wanted it as a kid, too.
All right. Our last story of the night. This might depress some people because you missed out.
It's like me.
This past Sunday, New Jersey got a rare show of the Northern Lights.
The photos are all over the internet. It looks pretty awesome, guys. It's something I haven't seen in New Jersey ever.
Have you ever seen Northern Lights anywhere?
No, have you?
No.
I've always
neither.
wanted to take a trip to like Iceland or something.
I know.
But like,
We should do that.
to be able to see here in Jersey, that's pretty legendary. And you knew about it, Jimmy. You didn't text me about it. Why didn't you think that we could have made a post or something about it?
I don't know. It was like in the middle of the day.
Ah,
Nate texted me and he was like, hey, where's like a really dark spot to go? I want to see the Northern Lights tonight. And like me and Josh Sobo, we tried seeing the Northern Lights together years ago and it was just a big bust. And I was like, I don't know, it wasn't worth it.
but this wasn't a bust.
Jimmy and I drove like an hour and a half north to basically Stokes, I think, right?
Yeah, we went through Stokes and High Point.
To try to see the Northern Lights. We saw, it was cloudy. We saw nothing.
So no, it wasn't worth it. So,
But this time it was.
but you know
Well-
what? If I'm going to go see the Northern Lights at this point in my life, I want to
Jimmy,
go to Iceland like you were
stop
saying.
trying to make yourself feel better. We missed it.
No, but it also kind of looks like people were taking long exposure photos to get them. Like, it wasn't like you could just walk outside and see them. I don't think. Because based on the photos, there's just too much visibility in these photos I was seeing before. But it says an atmospheric phenomenon known as the Northern Lights gave stargazers across the northern United States a dazzling sky show Sunday night, and the lights were visible as far south as southern New Jersey. Photos of the Northern Lights popped up on social media sites late Sunday and early Monday, showing colorful shades of pink, purple, and green glowing in the night sky in Pennsylvania and other northern states. Some of the photos were snapped as far as Montauk in Sussex County and Ringwood in Passaic County, and others were taken about 200 miles farther south, down in southern Cape May County. Also known as the Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights are typically visible in the far northern United States, Canada, and Alaska. So what a dazzling display that happened in the Garden State. Isn't that crazy, guys?
It is crazy.
So wild. It's like, when's the next time that's even going to happen? Will it ever happen? Is it going to be like 20 years?
What actually causes the Northern Lights? I feel like you guys would know this.
It's like a solar storm, right, Joe?
It's a coronal mass ejection. What?
It's actually what it is. Google this. Coronal mass ejection.
Look,
It's not wrong. A coronal mass ejection is a significant ejection of magnetic field
I don't know, it's so
and
funny about
accompanying plasma mass from the sun's corona into the helisphere. Dude, you were joking. It's a coronal mass ejection.
So smart.
Yeah, now you guys know what a coronal mass ejection
Dude,
is.
you sound like the train kid from Polar Express.
You've been waiting like years for this.
Guys, I don't know what that is. It was in the article. Josh, it was the next line in the article.
Oh, you're right. Oh, my bad.
Okay, but yeah, now I know what that is. Wow. But yeah, I actually don't know. But I would have loved to take some long exposures still. It would have been really cool to get some of those colors.
Yeah. You know, it'd look really cool.
What?
A fire tower with Northern Lights above it.
You know what would be really cool? If you told me about the Northern Lights, we could have taken a photo with a fire tower with the Northern Lights behind it.
It's always the next time.
Hey, Jimmy, I forgive you.
It's fine.
No hard feelings.
Yeah, my dad saw Northern Lights in New Jersey when he was a kid.
It always happened to our parents' generation.
Yeah.
They always saw everything cooler.
When I was a kid, I don't know.
Is that what my dad sounds like?
No, I was gonna say that's what you always hear. Like, I walked uphill both ways to and from school in the snow every day.
Every day.
They always had experiences where you're like, wow, that's amazing.
When our grandparents lived and our grandparents were like kids and everything was in black and white, what do you think the Northern Lights look like?
Gray.
Crazy.
Man, when our parents were kids, Sears was still thriving.
Yeah, I miss going to Sears on a weekly basis. It was just the spot. Don't we have like the smaller Sears or something like that? Like a Sears,
A mini
Sears Mobile.
Sears. I don't know. What is it called? Sears what?
Sears
Not mobile.
No, it's not Sears Mobile.
Just type in Sears stores in Jersey.
What did they do to their logo?
Yeah, it's a
change it?
terrible new logo.
They have an online store.
It's not what it used to be.
Let's see if the appliances are affordable on here, guys.
Yeah, what compared to what? Like going to a Best Buy?
Oh, guys, they're having a blowout event. You won't believe the savings.
Sweet.
Wow, up to 60% off Craftsman tools. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know, guys. It just seems to me that Sears is not doing the best. Just going to say it. These prices all seem fake.
Well, yeah, it kind of, I think it started going downhill when all the stores shut down.
Yeah, it's kind of sad because at its peak, most people don't realize that Sears was basically the size of that Amazon is right now. Like, Sears was massive.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that.
That's why I loved going there with my grandpa all the time. He's like, he'll be like, Josh, we're going to Sears. I'm like, it was the highlight of my week as a kid.
Which one?
The one on Route 22 in Terrell.
Yeah.
Dude, it was so easy. Or you go to the one in Woodbridge Mall or Menlo, wherever.
I have a picture of my dad in front of that Sears on 22.
You don't lose that photo. You should frame that.
In high school, he was in front of his Camaro in front of that Sears.
That
and
is so cool.
That's just an
You guys should
all-American
frame
throwback.
that, dude. If you don't have it framed yet, show your daughter that. Be like, this is your grandpa, great grandpa.
Grandpa.
Yeah, grandpa. What am I thinking?
My grandkids, that'll be their great-grandpa.
Guys, as we wrap up, I just want to say I held June this past weekend, and she was crying in Josh's arms, and I was like, Josh, I don't care if she's crying. Let me just hold her. I haven't held her yet. And he placed June in my arms. And I think maybe because she saw a new face, she stopped crying and she looked at me right in the eyes and she started smiling.
She was very happy.
So yeah, I think maybe I should come over again sometime and, cheer her up if she's crying a bit.
You should come over literally whenever you guys want. Feel free to stop by. The door is always open.
Is that to everyone listening or is that to me and Jimmy?
To you and Jimmy.
Okay, just making sure.
So with that is the end of our podcast for this week. Thank you all for listening. Any closing thoughts?
Yeah, today Wawa opened their 1,000th store.
That's huge.
Yeah.
What town?
I'll tell you right now.
In Jersey?
In New Jersey.
No way.
Yep.
I can't believe you waited till the end of the podcast to share that.
I know. I found out during the podcast. And
That's
I
crazy.
was doing some research about it. I just gotta go
You ever
right
use
here.
Stacks? You ever use Stacks?
No, I got to delete all that. That's just from the podcast. I have all these screenshots just from every episode we do.
Wawa's 1,000th store opened today in Oakland, New Jersey.
Oakland.
Oakland. Not the North Jersey.
Oh, I thought you said Oakland. I'm sorry.
Oakland.
Oh, gotcha. So that's south?
Yeah.
Wow. Big
Camden
difference.
County.
Camden County.
Very cool.
County.
So, yay. Shout out
So
to
it's their
Wawa.
1,000th store. So I don't think it's just New Jersey. I think they have stores in Pennsylvania. and
They
stuff
do.
too.
That's
So-
why I didn't know if it was the
Yeah.
1,000th New Jersey store.
No,
or
just
is-
1,000th in general.
You know what? Good for Wawa. I think they're really killing it.
Yep.
Let's celebrate Wawa as we close out, guys.
Come on. Come on.
Gabago.
And with that, that'll be the end of the Garden State podcast. Thank you all for listening. If you want to support the podcast, the best way you can do so is by heading over to thegardenstate.com and buying some merch.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, we will see you next Friday. Have an amazing week. Adios.
Goodbye.
You're listening to the Garden State. The Dirty Jers.